Hello. Hello, everyone. Try to move the dog out of my way so I can scoot in. How is everybody? So tonight we are going to paint this cute apple barrel sign where it says apple pickin' 5 cents. Ain't that cute? I'm so sorry. Okay, so anywho, we've got this. It's gonna be 3D, so I did get the 3D printouts, and oh, I just remembered I forgot to attach the cutout, so I will do that after we are done. So let me pull these comments up here. Hey Cece, how are you, honey? Colors tonight that we are using. Forgot to grab black and white, of course. We always use that. And we will also use, sorry, my camera's in the way. We're gonna use fire red, watermelon, and then we might use a couple more browns, I'm not sure yet. Trail tan, honey brown, and autumn brown, also one of my faves. And then I also have a medium and light foliage green right here is the other two that I'm using. Let me flip you guys down. Okay, so I'm trying to give you guys a little bit better of a view with the camera without it being all pixelated. So hopefully you guys all like that. Let me twist you. Sorry, had it all set up, but you know, it's hard to see sometimes. Okay, so let's get started. Let me grab a paint tray here and let's have some fun. All right, I'm thinking we're gonna start with the brown of the barrel first. And I'm thinking we're gonna go with the autumn brown, and then we're gonna do some shading with it as well. So let's pour that in there. Let me grab my paintbrush. I'm still getting used to the studio and where everything's at. You'd think I would be used to it by now, but I'm still struggling a little. All right. So I am using a 5/8 angle brush. These are those Royal Kid brushes that I really like, that I've been able to find at Walmart. They're my favorite, so I just loaded up the brush, doing a nice little drag there, coming back, smoothing out. Same thing here again. Just loading it, smoothing it out, like so. And then remember, I do prime my projects ahead of time. The reason why I do that is just so that the color stands out just a little bit more, just makes it a little bit nicer. So I'm just lightly taking the edge of my angle brush and getting around the apple stem here. This is going to be a little bit different shade of brown, so I didn't want to paint it. Okay, and I noticed we just got a little bit of a clump of paint there that I was trying to clean up. All right, so then I'm going to take this, go right around this leaf like so, and we'll smooth that out. Then right here, nice and smooth. All right, so right around this apple, again, I'm just using that edge. So I get my edge loaded more than the other part of my brush. You can kind of tell there, the paint's not gathering as much. And then we're gonna just smooth out. Same thing here. So today was my kids' first day back to school. They loved it. This little mama's heart was pitter-pattering a little bit. Briley, my oldest, my 7th grader, that feels weird saying, but her bus was an hour and a half behind. Can you believe that? Scared the bejesus out of me. I was starting to get super nervous, and I'm, I try and be like that person that doesn't get too scared, but man, it was starting to scare me. Hey Linda, how are you? So hopefully they'll figure out the kinks, but I mean, I know a lot of parents were pretty upset from the post that I saw, so, which rightfully so. I mean, they should have at least given us a call and said that, the buses were behind or something, but there was no communication. So that made me worried. And then on top of that, like I had said, it's her first time riding the bus this year, so a little nerve-wracking. I think I'm gonna go with a lighter tone on the wood slats. So I'm gonna end with this right now. Actually, let's heat this just a little bit. And then we'll do some shading here. We might need to hit it just one more time. I'm seeing a couple of little splotches coming through. Okay, put that back. All right, so I'm just going to do a nice quick coat over this. Get our splotches kind of showing through here. Your water line broke in your basement. Oh no. Yeah, that would make you MIA. I've been a little bit MIA too with this move and everything else, so we get it, girl. We get it. And then, I know Cece, you're waiting on your move, but did you get some of your craft room unpacked? Because I know you had packed a little bit. All right, guys, so I'm going to just use my foam plate here. I'm going to just use the back of it since the front of it's very well loved. Let me grab my median here. Okay. I need to throw just a little bit down. I'm going to grab a 3/8 angle brush for right now. And I'm going to go in with the honey brown. This is one of my favorite browns too. And it's from Deco Art Americana, which I know I don't promote them a lot, but this one's one of my faves. So just getting a little bit of median, working that in, grabbing a little bit more of my brown. Okay, we're just moving that back like so. And we're going to bring in our sign. And then we're just going to ever so lightly bring in our edging of our barrel here. Okay, I'm getting just a little bit of drag here, so we're going to do this one just one more time. There we go. Just a little more. And right here. That one. And then I'm just going to come in here and do a nice little sweep at the bottom. You guys see that? grab just a little medium, work in our paint here. We're gonna go straight across here, and then I'm gonna just kind of lightly feather this back in. And then we're gonna go right across the lip here and right across the top. All right, so you can kind of see that. See how it kind of gave it nice dimension and everything else? I thought about doing the Trail Tan just to lighten it up, but I'm really liking the look that we've got going on. So I think I'm just gonna let it be. So now we will use the Trail Tan up here. And we're gonna do the Trail Tan, and then I'm gonna use that honey brown again for the accent. Let me make sure I'm not missing any of your guys' comments here. Okay. All right, so Trail Tan next. And I apologize, you guys, I'm working on lighting, and I know my lighting is not the best right now. So I'm hoping that you guys can see this all good. All right, so I'm gonna go back to that 5/8 angle brush. Hey Cheryl, how are you, hon? Just cleaning the brush real quick here. And then, like I said, I love these Royal Craft kids brushes. They're my favorite. They have like the little plastic stem. They don't have too long of a stem on them. I think that's why I like them the most, is because of that. I have kind of small hands, so I don't like having the big brushes in there. They just fit really nice. And they're really quite affordable. All right, so I'm just going right around where our apple is. Just using the edge of the angle brush to get that. Had a little bit of whoopsies there, but nothing too bad. Ooh, that would have been. Almost went in the wrong paint here. Now the reason why I'm leaving this brown out, because I know I'm always the person that puts my paint away, is I want to do a little bit of distressing and stuff like that with it. So that's why we're leaving it out right now. All right, so just going around. Now if you get really intimidated with doing the bigger edge of the brush, you can always switch to a smaller brush and do the same work. I used to switch to about 18 million brushes until I got a little bit more confident with using bigger paintbrushes. And I've also got lazy. I hate switching paintbrushes. If I can, I will get away with it. All right, just smoothing this out. And this Trail Tan does pretty good at coverage. So I'm going to probably leave it where we are going to be adding a little more distressing and making it look more like a wood grain, because it will kind of cover up things. All right. Let me just get the edge real quick here. Okay. Ooh, the crickets are out tonight. I can hear them. I am loving being able to look out my windows. I have 2 windows on the side, you guys. It's wonderful. Hey, Nancy, how are you, hon? Starting to kind of get used to being in my new craft area. It takes time, I feel like. I don't know, at least to me it does. It takes time to get used to your new space. But I am enjoying it. I think this is my nicest craft space besides, well, when Brian built me the one in Chicago, it was pretty nice, but it was still basement. Good, I'm glad you're doing good. Okay, I'm just gonna smooth out this edge real quick. I'm gonna add a little bit more of our trail tan. And then I'm gonna switch to the smaller brush again. Okay, this is that 3/8 angle brush right here. And I'm gonna go in with the honey brown and the trail. So I'm gonna just get some medium, put that down, get some trail. Oh, I did that wrong. Whoops. My bad. Okay, get trail on the bottom and the honey brown on the top. Kind of ombre it back and forth together, okay? And then I'm going to move this over this way. We will just add a little bit of some highlighting. Here. All right, we're getting a little bit of drag there. Let me grab just a little bit of median. We'll try this one more time there. Ooh, nice and smooth now. All right. There we go. Just gonna put a little bit of shading right around these apples. I almost said pumpkins. Whew. Thank goodness I caught myself. All right. So then we'll go up here. We're gonna just ombre this. Let me get a little bit more paint. Put a little of our median. Okay. We're just going to highlight here. There we go. Let me bring that back in. There we go. Go right here. Get a little highlight right around there. So as you can kind of see, it gives us just that nice little shading power that we've got here. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to use a dry brush. Actually, try to see if I have a lighter one. Kind of one of your brushes that's more beat up is the better to use for this. But we're gonna just barely get some brown on here. Wipe most of it off on our tray. Okay. And then we're just gonna come in here and lightly go back and forth just to kind of give us some grain on our sign. Grab just a little more of that autumn brown. Okay, so then you can kind of see it has like a little rough look to it. It's kind of what we're going for. Okay, so we're gonna let that go now. Throw that in there, and like I said, I use that dry with just a little bit. Did I find it? A stylus pen at the Dollar Tree. Yes, I did. It's actually one of my favorites. It is this one right here. These ones are awesome. I really like these. Okay, so now let's use the, well, since I already have brown out. Sorry, I know not what I do. We are gonna go with a number 1 round brush. Just getting it a little bit wet. And I'm gonna use my honey brown, and I'm gonna go in and do the stems here of our apples. And then I probably should clean up my brown. All right. Go right here. So how's everybody's weekend? Did you guys do something fun this weekend? We went to Blowing Rock. They have a premium outlet down there. It's a little ways away, but we wanted to kind of do something fun with the girls, and so we went there, and it was a cute little place to go. More mountainous area, but I really liked it. So Blowing Rock, North Carolina for a win. Anything for you guys? All right. Just getting this last little stem here. You guys, I got the cutest shoes too. So I obviously am a big fan of leopard print, and I got leopard print Converse. They're so dang cute. I was so excited. Loved them. My husband, of course, rolled his eyes because, you know, he has to tease me, but I loved it. We were supposed to see our youngest grandkids, but Colton got sick and decided to stay home. Eleanor's sick this evening. Oh no. Well, that's no fun. No fun with sick kids. All right, guys, I'm gonna go in with my zero liner brush. I'm gonna use the Spice, or the, not Spice, the Autumn Brown. And I'm just doing a small little detail line. So just a swoosh of the apple stem. And a little line down the center just to kind of give it more dimension. Molly didn't like that. I've got the 3 dogs in here. I don't know if you, no, I don't think you can see them, but they're over by my door over here. And then Ronan is underneath me. He's not doing too good. Our grumpy old man. He was definitely nice and sore today, poor guy. Had to give him a little bit more of his old man medicine that we like to call it. Hey Teresa, how are you? Oh goodness, that would have been bad. Okay, you throw these paints in here. So that lighter taupe color was Trail Tan, just for you all to remember. We used the honey brown, and then the darkest of the browns was called Autumn Brown. It's another one of my fall favorites. It runs a little bit runny, but it covers really well. So just a little FYI for you guys. And I always pour too much of it because it runs so runny and I forget. Teresa, your legs looked so cute, by the way. I love them. And your cute sign that you upcycled. So cute. Teresa was on business call showing us some fun little projects she's got going on. Okay. So next red that we're going to use is I'm going to use Fire Red, and then I'm going to highlight just a little bit or shadow shade with Watermelon Red. But the first one we'll do is the Fire Red. This is a bright red, so this is going to be that bright, yummy, gotta bite into it kind of thing. Dishes and then back to my crafting. It's storming. Ooh, yuck. Well, if it's storming, the basement's always the best place to be in Illinois. That's for sure. One of the tornadoes kind of hit pretty close to where I used to live. Everybody that I know is pretty okay. I have a friend that owns a farm, and her barns got beat up pretty bad. She luckily, by the praise of, you know, everything good, her goats got trapped in one of the barns that got messed up, but luckily the way it fell, it made it so that they were okay. So, I mean, so nice that ended up being good. A good situation after all of that. So much worse could have happened to them. So glad everything worked out okay for them. I mean, we always had warnings, and we had a couple of close ones, but never as close as that one. I know some of our neighbors said that they had gotten some damage from them, so phew. Just wind damage, I should say. All right, so I'm just cleaning up the edge of this apple here. And red is kind of funny. It is one of those ones that will show a little bit of paint strokes through it, so it is one that you will need to do a double coat for. Just a little FYI. I will probably have to come in with painting this and use the liner brush, either using the one or the liner, one round or a liner. Just FYI, just trying to get around these stems and everything. We'll need to probably do it. So I'm just trying to kind of right now get a good coat down and get around our edges. So I'm just using the angle brush and going right, loading the tip of my angle brush to get through all of these little spots with the leaves and the stems and stuff like that. This is one of those things that this project's pretty easy up until you get to the apples. You just have to be a little bit more careful and take your time a little bit more with, but it's actually a really nice project. All right, so just using my, like I said, just using the angle brush, getting in there. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this, these little spots here where I'm thinking of it, because I always tend to forget when it gets more detail complex to do the sides. Okay. So right here, just loaded my brush again, going right in. There we go, nice smooth. Nice and smooth, take our time. We will get through these apples. This fire red is actually drying pretty nice. We might be able to get away with one coat. Believe it or not. All right. And the secret also to being able to use that smaller brush, getting away from having to use the bigger or go down to the smaller, is just moving your piece around. Getting those angles and everything else truly does help. But painting is not a race. That is one thing for sure. Just take your time. All right. Smooth these out. All right. Going right there, smoothing. I don't think I'm going to play with this one little spot here. I think I'm going to go down to the smaller brush. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this. All right, let's go to the smaller brush. I call it. I am going to go to the one round on this. Oh, I get it, girl. And no problem. All right, so just smoothing that out. All right. And I'm going to hit right here. Just like so. I'll smooth this out. Make it nice and pretty. Okay. So as you can see, there's just a little bit of brush stroke, but not enough that I'm going to be too concerned about it because we are shading. So I'm going to go ahead and get the watermelon. Make sure this pot's dry. Okay. Get just a little bit more of my median float. This is what this looks like when I say my median. Okay. And let me get a little bit smaller of a brush. I think we'll use this one. This one I've had for a long time. I want to say it's a 1/8. It is a flathead brush, but it really does the job for doing the shading here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go one side with the lighter red, which is watermelon, and one side with the darker red, which is fire red. And we're just going to go in and make those little swooshies. Now, because we're working with such a small brush, we will have to come back for the paint a little bit more than what you normally saw me do with the other project. So bright red again, or fire red, sorry, and watermelon. And then we're gonna just come in here, just kind of go around these edges. All it's doing is giving just that nice shiny apple appearance and kind of giving us a break in the red. We can accomplish this, you know, with highlighting and stuff like that too, but with shading, it just kind of gives more of that 3D dimensional look. Okay. All right. Watermelon, the fire red again. And I do try and keep this brush a little bit more loaded with paint than what I would typically do with another one, just because we are highlighting. We can kind of let it be a little more gloppy. Go back this way, have a little more paint there. All right, and one more apple and we are good with our highlighting. So I'm gonna bring it up so then you guys can kind of see. Can you see how it kind of makes it pop a little bit more? That's what we were kind of going for with it. When it dries, it's gonna look a lot better. I know it's glaring with the lights. Just throw this extra away. All right, and now off to our green. Let me hurry and get this other red picked up here. So did anybody's grandkids start today? When was your guys' grandkids or kids back in school? Or are you or are they homeschooling? I know that's been a big thing now since COVID. Bless this mama's heart, I can't. I tried, I really thought I could for maybe a little bit, but it was pretty complicated for me. Okay, so now I'm going with a light green, or light foliage green. There we go. Throw that up over here. I am going to go to a little bit smaller of an angle brush. That's still a little too big for my liking. Okay, so I'm going to go with a number 2 flat. I'm not going to do too much with this dark green. I think I'm just going to do the vein of the leaf with the dark green. Okay. grabbing that edge there. And this light foliage green is a really nice green. Just get there. Has a really good coverage on it. Okay. Just arching right around here where this flower, or where that stem is. There we go. Just getting this leaf covered on the edge here. Okay. Right here and right here. There we go. All right, so we've got those all nice and colored in. And grab this real quick. And then for the medium foliage green, I am gonna just go ahead and go right across with the stems. Actually, these are not trying out as good as what I want. Let's do one little quick touch here. I can just see a little bit of blotchiness popping through. So let me hurry and get these real quick. A little more careful with this one so we're not pulling up paint. There we go. Okay. And when I'm just using a little bit of green, I will just use the cap a lot of the time. Saves you from having to get too much out. All right, so I'm going to use that detail brush that we have in here. And that is a zero liner brush that I'm using. And I'm just going to do a little and then a little zigzag down at the bottom. See? Turn here. All right. And that was that medium foliage green, which is that darker shade of green. And then I had the lighter green, which was the light foliage green for that. And then now we are going to go ahead and go in with black. What colors should we do the letters? I was thinking maybe white with some iridescent, or do you think black would be cute? What do you guys think? I am gonna go ahead and just dilute my black down just a little bit, so it makes it a little bit easier for the lining and the detailing. So we'll get the outlining going. Okay. So we're just going to take our brush, go right around our project. Go like this with our cute little apple. Making this line a little bit thicker. All right. I'm going halfway because I know my brush is going to run out of paint towards the end. Maybe, having a hard time. Oops, sorry guys. Well, let me move the dogs. No, no, no. No barking. No, no, no. Sorry. Woo! No barks. No barks, Zoe. Thank you. Thank you. You're a good girl. Maybe they hear the girls. Hey, stop. Or you're going to have to get kicked out. All right, so now just highlighting, whoops, I got a little too much paint there. So just outlining again here. There we go. Like so. Okay. Zoe, stop. All right, we'll go right here, get this cute little stem. Now, if you're having a hard time with your brush and you want really thin strokes, either you're getting too much paint or your brush is kind of clogged up a little bit. So just rinse it out real quick, and then you can start again, and it will give you those nicer thin strokes. Now, if you want thicker, obviously just load your brush up just a little bit more. For these apples, I was kind of wanting more of a thinner line, so that's what I'm going for right now. So for that, just clean your brush a little bit more, and it will work really nice for you. All right. Okay. Right here, I'm going to do a little zigzag on that side just to give a little bit of some dimension going on, some movement. Grab this leaf. And then when I'm always painting on the edge, I do kind of pull in just a little bit. I don't go right to the edge, and that gives it just a little bit more look of dimension as well. Ronan, you okay, buddy? You okay? Sorry, you guys, Ronan is not doing good, like I said. He's a little sore today. Molly, stop it. Right now. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm gonna have to kick them out, ain't I? Okay. Let me move them out real quick here. It's okay. You lay down. Okay, Briley? Briley? Go take the dogs out to go potty, please. Thank you. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay. All right, let's get this apple right here. Leaf. I'm gonna just do a little zigzag there on our basket. Okay. So just doing these little swishes here. There we go. I'm going to just do the lines on the basket. I feel like a cute little one right there. Might be in order. Okay. And one more. Okay. Go right here. Maybe another little ziggy-zag. And I think another one right here would be cute. Okay. There we go. What do you guys think? You liking? All right, so now we're gonna outline the sign. And this is where we can kind of make it look a little more 3D and dimensional as well. As we're gonna do one outline, a little inward, and then one outline on the bottom here, or more towards the edge. If you see, it kind of makes it and frames it in a little bit. Makes it look more like it's two little slats. So there. A little bit more here. Like so. And there we go. Okay, so outlining is now done. Hey Susan, how are you? so excited for the retreat. Me and Susan were talking about the reel that we're gonna do together. I'm really excited for it. All right, so I'm just getting a little bit of white here. We're just going to highlight just a little bit. Just kind of make these apples pop just a little bit more in their basket. Just really just the white outlining or highlighting, it really does make your piece just kind of move and come together a little bit more. And if you notice, I'm barely getting any paint on my brush, and I'm barely letting my brush touch. And the reason why I'm doing that is because you just want a little bit of white, not too much. All right. A little bit on our apples here. All right, and I think I'm going to do those letters white, and we'll do some iridescent glitter on them. I just realized I did not get one of these stems. So before I forget, let me highlight or outline this stem real quick. Because I'll tell myself, oh, I even missed the other one. Goodness gracious. I forget sometimes. Okay, let me go back to the white here. All right, we got all of those. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a little bit of that white highlight right over their sign here. Just a little on that zig. And then like that. What do you guys think? You guys liking? Facebook's having some issues? Oh no. Shoot, you guys. I hope everything's all good. Okay. Let me move this over. And I am going to paint these real quick for you guys. I am just going to use my one liner brush. Still use the cap. All right. I think the white will make them really pop and be cute. Throw this white on here. And then throw that cute iridescent on. Now the reason why I do paint with the painter's tape on the bottom is it just holds it a little bit easier in place. So if you're struggling with a small piece, definitely using a little bit of tape really does come in handy. Okay. Maybe, besides trying to get it off your fingers when you're done. Okay. All right. All right, almost done here. Okay. Hey Sandy, how are you? A lot of video interruptions. Oh, dang it. I'm so sorry. Let me see. I might have to move my chair off. Nope. Got it. As I drop black glitter, but hey, we're good. Let me grab my glitter paper. All right, so I'm just gonna blow dry these or heat dry these just real quick. I did try and put a little bit more paint on these. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is grab a Mod Podge brush here. Let me grab some Mod Podge as well. I'm just going to use the lid, and I am using this lid of the Mod Podge. Okay. And I'm going to do a little bit different what you typically see me do. We're gonna just dip these. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glitter down. I'm just going to lay the Mod Podge on our A and pretty givingly then just tap on it. And we've got a glittered A. And I'm just gonna lay this on there on the sign for you guys, and then I'll glue it when I'm done. And the glue that I use is either Loctite Super Glue Gel or Gorilla Glue Super Glue Gel. Making sure I emphasize gel, because if you don't, you'll end up not liking life, because half of your project will be glued to your fingertips. Speaking from experience. Oh, oops. Okay, yes. Grabbing the wrong pea. Okay. So do you guys have any questions for me on anything that I could answer while we're doing these glitters? I know sometimes they're a little long to do, a little tedious. And I just like to use the matte. I know some people recommend using the gloss. I don't prefer the gloss. The reason why is for me, it just seems like it overpowers the glitter a little bit. So I like using the matte Mod Podge a little bit more, but it's everybody's preferences. But I am not a person that really likes to use a lot of gloss on my stuff. I use a semi-gloss when I even spray. Okay, we're getting there. Do you guys want to see this? Of course you do. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love it. Did I miss something from Cece? Oh, you just said, hey, Cece. Okay. Cece, I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you, girl. I know a lot's been going on with life for you, so. I realized I didn't cut out a cent piece on this. Whoops, we're gonna be having to add 5 cents. Or should we add $5? What do we think? Should we make it 5 cents or $5? There we go. I didn't want to stay up. Now when I do glue, I also, I use tweezers to glue these down. It helps a little bit as well when you're doing these individual letters. Okay. We're getting there. All right. With today's prices, yep, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, today's price is probably even more than $5, but I know, I always think it's funny. You'll go for your family, you know, little fun thing where you go apple picking or pumpkin picking, and it's like, hey farmer, I'm helping you out because I'm technically going in and getting it, but I get it. It's the experience. We love to go apple picking and pumpkin picking. It's kind of one of our favorite fall things to do. What about y'all? Anybody like to do those things? Okay. Well, I will definitely get a price tag added. I can't believe I forgot not to have that on there. All right. Yeah, because I think we could add a small little $sign or a cent sign on either side. So, and then with the extra glitter, we just pour it right back in. But as you can see, it gives you really good coverage by just dipping it in instead of pouring it on them. It helps a lot. Oh, I love how cute this turned out, don't you all? Oh, it's so cute. Okay. Well, let me do face on. Thank you guys so much. Sorry, I'm gonna move this camera up out. Okay, so I hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow with Cricut. I think me and Lisa got our schedules kind of mixed up, but I've been planning on doing Cricut tomorrow, so either that or me and Lisa. So I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I didn't mess things up, but I'll talk to you. Really cute. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate it. And thank you all. I'll talk to you all later. Bye, guys.